Back. We're back. I saw the movie Us a few days ago, so I wanted to tell you what I thought of it. So the plot is good. It's interesting. Just see the trailer. All right. I don't think it gives away too much. It actually makes the movie look like a much different type movie, if that makes sense. Like I saw the trailer, and what I ended up getting was a lot different, which is good, and it's also bad, I guess. Um, because I thought it would be a lot darker. Like as a horror movie, it's more psychological thriller. With horror elements, but it's not like a really scary movie. I guess you could say there are a few scenes that are like that. It kind of reminds me of Strangers. Now you'll see like when the other family shows up, you're like, oh, that's just like the movie The Strangers or whatever it's called, or Strangers. I don't remember the name. Either one, but there was just two made recently, or a sequel. I meant to say, or a prequel. Who knows? But anyway, so the plot is good. Just look into that yourself. I'm not gonna describe the plot. But the best part of this movie was the soundtrack. Okay, there's a really funny scene with like a Bluetooth speaker type thing, or like a house's like AI system or something like that. The little voice that talks to you. You're like, turn on the air conditioning. It's like, hey, I'm on it. You know what I mean? That thing. So there's a funny scene with like someone asks for something, and they what's the word, they don't get what they asked for, I guess, or they kind of do. It depends on how you look at it. It's funny. You'll have to see it. If you already saw it, you're like, oh, I think I know what he's talking about. Sorry for being vague. The lead actress in this was phenomenal. Okay, she was by far my favorite part about the movie. um Her performance was just through the roof. In the music and comedic breaks here and there throughout the film, it's like, like peppered in. Like there's just a little bit of comic relief here and there, so that's good. It helps with like you get a chance to settle down. You're like, all right, that was kind of funny, and then back to crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So my only complaint with the movie is the twist. The twist was good. Okay. Um, there ends up the I'm gonna try not to spoil it, but what this family is experiencing ends up being a much bigger issue. Like outside of what they have to deal with, if that makes sense. There are other people being affected by this thing, all right? That was very vague. It was perfect, okay? Just, I'll leave it at that, all right? But the twist ends up getting, like, very far out. You're like, all right, all right. There's this whole plot with, like, underground tunnels. Um, oh, there we go. Underground tunnels. What was I gonna say? And it's kind of cool. I'm like, all right, I like the idea, but they just went a little too far with it. I was like, all right, this is getting too far out. This is a little funky. I don't really believe that this would happen. And it, like every, the I want to say the first hour of this movie is just like, your typical like thriller with horror elements, and it's the family, there's an issue, they're scared, everyone's got to do stuff to get out of this situation, and all that's good. All that is awesome. And then, about 54 minutes in, they start getting into the first twist, and then there's another, and I don't know if it keeps going, but it just keeps getting more far out as you go, and you're like, all right, enough, like let's tone it down a little bit, but it's still cool. It's still like, oh well, that would be interesting if that happened. So that's my only complaint. Like other than that, like all the performances were good. The cinematography was good. This was better than Get Out, I would say. Maybe that's a stretch. I don't know. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than Get Out. Get Out, yeah. Um, but the best parts, like I said, soundtrack, lead role, and all the acting was on point. I liked the comedic elements sprinkled in there. So other than that, you know, I only had the minor issue with the plot and whatnot. But all in all, it was a good movie. So go check it out. Sorry if I rambled. It is what it is. All right.